Zest, 로그. 아프리카 TV 프레이업 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 2 코디스 The Coming Storm.
Welcome back. Stats vs. Rogue for the winner's match. This is going to be a cool one. I'm really excited to see who will come out on top. I do feel like Rogue is in a little bit better form.
Yeah.
The last couple tournaments, and I know that Rogue's been eliminated early on, but Stats has really been in the shadows of GSL. Here, he's not been out in the forefront.
Yeah, that's true.
But let's see. I mean, Stats looked really good today. It was in a PVT that he looked quite strong. PVZ, we do have the outlines of macro play available. It's not a matchup where you have to push in.
I think that's a really excellent way to put it. We have the outlines of macro play. We've seen Trap going later in the game and having a fine time doing it, scaling up his composition reasonably well.
Estrella early on in this tournament.
That's right. Estrella brought Dark to the Supreme Endgame, and it was actually a very, very good game. So you're right, there's outlines there. Can Stats take those outlines and color within the lines and finish the picture?
Stats vs. Rogue, game 1.
경기가 준비되었다. 한번 시작해볼까? 아프리카 프렉스 스태츠 김대영. 지네어 그래밍스 로그 이병렬.
Okay. So, look, I expect to have a pretty long game here. I think this will probably be our longest series of the day.
Okay.
I think here Zest could not possibly be as long as the games these two players can produce.
Here Zest shouldn't be that long. Zest doesn't really do very late into the game PvT.
He doesn't have time to mess around.
No, he's got places to be. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that we see out of Stats some sort of macro-oriented play, something where you get more than one attack upgrade, you know?
Yeah.
Something like that. I would really like to see that. If it's just going to be Glaives, that's where I start to lose faith in the matchup. You know, if Stats can't figure something else out.
Yeah. Again, though, and I know we mentioned this earlier, but he does seem to be a player that it's pretty easy to pigeonhole his play style for us as casters. He likes to play defensive.
Yeah.
And that's a problem when people, you know, if you and I know that, his opponents know it even better. So, you know, what is the exploits?
Well, you say that, but actually, we watch every game, and literally our job is to analyze these games and stuff. I actually think a lot of pros just play on the ladder and only think about their own games, because I can give lots of examples, like the way Kure played today against Stats. Literally, I said what his strengths were, and then Kure did things that he was strong against. We've seen that a lot with Beyond in the past. We know that he grinds because a lot of times he would stream it where he's playing 12 hours a day, right? And you know he's must not be watching VODs because he's just attacking nonstop into someone who's defensive, and it's like
that's true. That's
so.
We have seen moments where it's almost like two superheroes that suddenly discover what each other's powers are.
Yeah,
on the stream.
We've even seen that with teams where it's like we already know what the player is going to do because we've watched all their games, and then someone that's on a literal professional team come in and get blindsided by what we knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that that's one place. Like, I have great respect for the skill of StarCraft pros, but not necessarily for all of their preparations.
By the way, this Adept gets surrounded. It'll be able to shade away, but not too far. The Oracle's coming in here now. Oh, looks like he's actually going to be able to catch this one.
He's trying to get away. Good maneuvering.
I think it's still going to get caught, though. These Lynx can catch it, maybe?
If he stands very still, they won't see him.
By the way, that tweet that was sent to us of you as the Raptor keeper in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Check our Twitter accounts. We both retweeted it. It's hilarious.
So funny. Can't find it. That little Adept is safe. Okay, let's see what this turns into. A second Stargate.
Very cool.
That
Very
is cool.
different, by the way, from Stats of all people.
Super neat.
Okay, takes out 3 drones and escapes.
Oh, I'm so excited about this 2 Stargate Phoenix. We just haven't seen this in a really long time.
Roddy is standing up from his computer chair right now.
Well, I'm sure if he is, it's to lecture Stats for getting the Warp Gate upgrade for a +1 attack.
Now the Zerg hasn't been able to scout this. It'll depend on how obvious Stats makes it if he feeds the Phoenixes in together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know that even as a Zerg, you know the pacing of how long it takes to make a Phoenix, and when the next one comes in, and so on and so forth.
Look at this. He's making a Roach Warren. This is looking... I kind of like it for Stats. The thing is, I'm so used to this build not working and not doing anything. It's just not been around for a really long time, but just looking at it with fresh, unbiased eyes, like what's going on right now, this looks pretty good. And it's going to look... Ooh, very nice Stasis Ward. It's going to look a lot better if we see him make a bunch of roaches.
I think so. We're waiting for that moment.
Or maybe, I mean, he's not making anything yet. Maybe he's just going to go into Hydra. The Roach Warren seems defensive. And we saw him trying to go Hydra on Golden Wall.
4 roaches, but I think you could have been right, Artos. It's the idea of you just have the tech there.
Yeah.
It's just one drone. You at least leave the option open. It also... It makes it more complex when the scouting comes in. You know, it's not always easy to scout all the units, but you see the structure, you may anticipate more roaches than are actually made. But we've only had 4 started here.
Yeah, he's made
here we go.
A couple more now, so...
Now, he was hiding the rest of the Phoenixes because you don't want to just feed them in one by one. Mm-hmm. And so now this is a lot of damage over here.
Yeah, he can kill these.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good targeting there by Rogue, but gonna go ahead and bring this one back. Oh. Trying to almost bait him right here.
Almost
Great
perfect
micro.
control here. Each queen is going to get picked off.
You should actually just lift off that one, bring the other 2 back, I think. But all right, he ends up killing all of the queens. That is fantastic.
Beautiful.
Great moves from Stats.
And this is our giant hiccup here to the production, but there's a Nidus network started.
When in
now,
doubt.
was that started as he saw the Phoenixes? I wouldn't be surprised. It kind of makes sense. Phoenixes, they can help in defending the Nidus, but they, of course, can't attack the Nidus. So.
Well, you're going to run out of energy as well, right? And they're not going to be good if you're getting a ton of Lings through there or something.
Yeah, and I think Lings is exactly what you want to have coming here. 3 more queens coming. Now, keep in mind, as Artosa said, you're going to run out of pickups. Phoenixes can't just do this endlessly in a short period of time.
All right, he hears it. Going looking for it right now. Doesn't seem like he's utilizing it all that much. He does throw down another one over here.
I'm worried that for Rogue's sake, that Stats might just be ready for every possible attack coming in here. He does have a decent ground army. Nothing coming out. I guess just 1 Ling over there.
Yeah, this is...
I don't know about
really
any of this.
interesting seeing the way that Rogue is playing this right now. He is making a lot of Hydras.
He could try to make a Nidus again. The Lings are mobile enough that you can get vision somewhere and set it up.
Sure.
But, you know, it seems like both Niduses were taken out. Here's the 3rd one. Now, this one's pretty far away, unlikely to be spotted right away, but also a little bit harder to reinforce attacks from. So, now we wait.
I think he's just making them to kind of make the noise, right? I mean, it sounds silly,
they are cheap.
but...
No, it's true.
No, it's super cheap.
They are cheap, and you can just send them. Now, did he see this one? Yes.
Yeah, no problem. You will get rid of that one. But it's kind of keeping stats a little bit busy.
I suppose so.
Keeping him back a little bit.
You know, Zerg is taking a 4th base. The Hydra count is building up to the point where, you know, when you have just a certain number of Hydras, the Phoenixes can pick them up and kill them anyways. But once you get too many, all the Phoenixes are shot down almost immediately. It's pretty insane. Now, can this one
Yeah, it'll
pop
finish.
Queens
but
out in time? If you're quick
is
enough.
he going to try to?
I don't know. And you know, that's the funny thing about the situation for the Protoss, right, is you kind of have to treat every Nidus as if it is the moment that the attack is going to come in here. This is a funny moment, too, to have these Hydras off creep, but inside the Speedulas.
Yeah. Huh. I like how it just becomes different Udulas every time.
That's what I was going for this season, Artos. This is never actually giving it an exact term. Now, I think we've gone through 6 Niduses, right?
Oh, at
Didn't
least,
really
yeah.
do anything.
Well, that's Rogue for you as well. That's like been a part of his style for a really long time now, is just throwing down endless Nidus openings. This game, not really using them, though. Just
Archon
pretending
drop.
to.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're doing a 10-minute Archon drop here, but okay.
Well, it seems like he's going to actually hit 2 locations at once. He's going to have the Zealots come in here. Now, this is manageable from the Zerg's perspective, but I don't know that the Zerg can actually defend the push up here at the front. But, you know, the force fields there from stats were pretty poor, to be honest.
He's going to fly in and actually kill off a lot of these Hydras here. More of the Hydras coming down right now. He's fighting over a Spore as well. The Queen's coming up to help.
Zealots still in the main over here. Drones are being pulled. Baneling does connect. Just a few more Protoss units remaining as this begins to thin out.
Yeah.
I think the Rogue can kind of hold this on each front. I mean, he's taking some damage, sure, but it doesn't seem like this is going to have any kind of momentum here. Even the
No.
now pretty flimsy tech army over here at the front.
Well, he's losing his entire army. And there's a lot of technicality in a Protoss army. Whereas when you're making Hydra, you know, this composition, Hydraling Bane,
It's kind of like
no
Marine Marauder
technicality there.
Medevac.
Yeah.
You just...
The way that you win with Ling Bane Hydra is by picking off the technical units for Protoss. If you can continually reduce, for instance, high Templar counts, that is a great way to win with this composition.
And by the way, the 7th Nidus in this game will be the one that will now allow the Hydras to come across the map, and probably end the game. And, you know, it's funny. It looks almost like Zerg is failing everywhere as the Niduses get denied, but really what it is it's a positional play that forces the other player to respect and defend. And that allows Rogue to play the catch-up that he needs. There it is, GG. Instant fatal blow.
Yeah, the attack from stats didn't, like, I guess maybe he thought he had done enough damage that he was far enough ahead of Rogue that Rogue wouldn't have that much and he could kill him. That's my only explanation, because just the theory around playing against Ling Bane Hydra, you have to continually build a more and more cost-efficient composition against it. That's how you take that down. And yeah, he did well in the early game. He shut down a lot of stuff. None of the Niduses did anything to him. But he made so many Phoenixes that it also kind of scaled back his timing for the attack. So it wasn't the greatest timing. It's not really the way you want to play against this type of set of units that Rogue made.
You know a positive word for the term coma?
What?
Everdream.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Do you dream in a coma?
I hope so.
You planning on going to a coma at some point?
Game 2, guys. Stats versus Rogue. Right now, Rogue with a 1-0 lead. Let's see if Stats can turn this around.
경기가 준비되었다. 한번 시작해 볼까? 아프리카 프렉스 스태츠 김대여. 진에어 그래밍스 로그 이병렬.
Okay.
Huh.
Keeping it weird.
Yeah. This is, I think, what Rogue was planning on doing against Zest in one of those games.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot about that part where there was a hatchery made outside the base and then... Yeah. Okay. So let's see what this is exactly. Is there a possibility that Zerg wants to try to push at the front?
Yes.
With the creep coming out, a spine coming down to try to peck at the entrance.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Queenling Spine, is my guess here.
Well,
And
guys, ladder's ruined for all the Protoss players. Be ready.
it might be. It might
Scout
be.
the front of your base this time.
Didn't we see Stats defeat a build very similar to this in the previous round, and then because he lost his natural and then won with a 4-gate adept counterplay? Yeah, so kind of interesting to be seeing something similar here, but it definitely looks like a spine push. More drones coming up right now.
Now let's take a little walk down history lane, Artosis.
Yes.
Down memory road. Remember when Nesty did this?
Yes.
A long time ago, and we
It was
lost
awesome.
our shit.
It was
We
against Hongan, wasn't it? I think.
Was it? I thought it was against.
Oh, any pro.
Was it any pro?
I believe it
I
was
thought it
any
was
pro.
the same guy that blocked his own Nexus with a pylon, but then turned out to be pretty
San?
good. I thought it was against San, but maybe I'm
Oh.
wrong. I don't know.
Anyways,
Memories
it was
are
one of
faulty.
those three, I think.
But it was crazy.
Okay, Singling walks in here. 3 spines on the way. He does make the robo. Makes a forge as well. That's an interesting forge.
Yeah, the Forge.
I think, is he just going to give up the natural? No?
I don't know where this goes. Now keep in mind, most of the way the Protoss survive early game is by having some kind of wall-in. This is a general theme in the game, is one race has to have some kind of wall-in against the other, but oftentimes they both have to have proper wall-ins. And, you know, when you don't have the structures to hide behind and to defend from, the damage is too great. And in truth, the most significant tech building in the game is right at the front of your entrance. It's a cybernetics core.
Oh,
you
he just
kidding me?
gets it out. He just gets it out. Okay, he's got to just heal the cyber core,
Can he get the warp gate? Nah, I guess it's not enough time.
Oh, he's not going to
he's
get
gonna
warp
get the
gate.
pylon. He's not
Yeah.
going to get it. Oh, he's going to get it. Oh, he's not going to get it.
Oh, my God.
he's going to get it.
He gets it.
He gets
oh, man. Stats by the skin of his teeth, getting his warp gate done, getting the stalker
And
done.
teeth don't even have skin.
That's how close it was.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got cannons on high ground. He's going to have an immortal. Yeah, I mean, he's going to hold this for sure. Damn, man, Stats looking hot today.
Oh, my God. But this surround is actually pretty big. The shield battery.
Where's our overcharge?
Yeah, the shield battery cannot quite help. Oh, my God. Okay, so more lings can still be made here, and they will be made.
Oh, he's
Again.
walking out too far with that. He needs to get back to the buildings.
Immortal!
You cannot let that get surrounded somewhere.
The shield battery is out.
Yeah, once he gets an overcharge, though, that's... I mean, I don't think you're actually going to finish breaking him. I think you need to expand this road.
Well, I think Rogue
Well,
agrees
he's too
with
low,
you.
maybe.
He's making 2 drones. Let's see if he goes back in the lings. Now, even though there's enough spines here that they can actually just hammer down this cannon, I think. No, I guess not. I guess the Immortals, 2 of them present.
Yeah,
He's
pushes
going
it back.
to push it back into a concave outside the ramp.
And now it looks like he's going to expand.
I don't think this is terrible for Protoss,
No,
by
I
the
think
way.
he's completely fine. I think he makes a warp prism and wins the game.
Yeah,
right?
that's
like, I mean, it's already hard enough
Oh.
to stop Immortals in a warp prism.
You see Rogue's control was so good there.
Yeah.
Uprooting that spine, sending it back. Okay, he's got to be careful. You know, the hull damage, as beefy as Immortals are, it really is. You know, in the games like this where you basically, Protoss becomes a Warcraft 3 player with 2 heroes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what the 2 Immortals are.
I'd love to see a Blade Master try to kill these.
Yeah, right.
Never going to happen. I like that. Rogue is focusing on making sure that those shields get knocked down. If you can get rid of Hardened Shield, then the Immortals really can't commit so well. They take full damage. Like
Look
we
at the
talked about.
balancing act here from Rogue, too. The hatchery coming down. Now,
He's making a lot of spines, a lot of lings.
Another thing to point out here is that if these Immortals do get picked up in a Warp Prism, which they will eventually here, and sent across the map, there is an option to counterattack as well.
Yes.
So, and that's probably what Zerg is trying to hang on to, is trying to get just enough workers out.
Yeah, I think what happens, right, is when if these go across the map, he moves all the spines up. So maybe, look at this, he fills up 2 adepts into that, and he's getting
Oh,
blades.
funny.
So he's actually going to attack with
dude,
adepts.
dude!
Oh, he's got to be careful at that. He's going to attack with adepts and keep the immortals at home, because the immortals at home will stop him from dying. He cannot die, basically, because the spines will die before they even can burrow.
So even though Protoss should be fine, Protoss is also in a situation where he can't really get out. Oh my god, these are going to get in the red here.
Yeah,
We got one tomato immortal. They were lemon immortals not long ago.
Yeah, he's definitely taking a lot of hull damage, but he's keeping the pressure on with them, which is important.
Yeah, and also if Protoss breaks his position, they do get a base up here.
Oh,
good force field. That was really, really nice.
Look at this. He is just going to break through everything, isn't he?
Well, hold on. A lot of Lings are going to come in here. Oh my god, incredible control here. Just beautiful. He goes back. More spines are coming. Again, these immortals are so freaking low.
Good micro from Rogue, though, over and over.
Now, the War Prism is still basically full of shields, but you can see the Queens want to try to get that low enough that they because, you know, the War Prism is what makes the immortals strong, and they just get picked up, and it's instantaneous, and same with the dropping. So the Zerg is basically eating damage over time. Oh my god, this is so close.
It's got to keep those immortals alive still. Very important.
Guardian shield coming down here.
More and more Lings being made.
Another spine comes into the fray.
Oh my god. And just stats his
Stats
units
is gonna
will
do it.
not die. Oh,
Literally
just barely gets
would
it
have
up.
been a fatal shot there, but picks it up as the spine is reaching across the map.
Yeah. Oh my god, these 2 immortals.
He did it.
The damage, the value.
Now, Protoss does not have a second base, but Protoss has the infrastructure to probably push across here.
Look, if you can't stop that with your whole army and 6 spines, you're not going to stop it with a second army.
Now, keep in mind, there's only one Warp Prism here. There's a lot of Lings being made. If he can force a pickup and get some of these other units on the ground, that may be the saving grace here.
And you know what? He has 34 supply, and that's Zerglings. Look at this, 49 Zerglings, 50 plus Zerglings. That is a lot of Zerglings.
Doesn't want to show him yet either. Now, again, the Warp Prism can only hold 2 units. If the surface area
he's got to surround that. I think that actually could have been a good time to try to surround.
Well,
okay, here he goes.
Now's that moment.
That's a huge surround right there. Look at that.
Now, keep in mind, the Queens are still hitting the Warp Prism. The Adepts are, for the most part, going to be picked off. But
Okay, a few
they're
of them
inside
get
the main.
through.
This is such a scrappy game.
Oh! I cannot believe that Red Immortal is still alive. Madness.
Now again, Queen's on creep here.
Oh! Finally
One
loses
immortal
one.
out.
So red, that Immortal, too.
Another warping down here. Okay, the main is almost mined out. In fact, he needs to stop making units to make a Nexus Artosis. If Protoss actually outlasts us, by the way, this is a great game.
It is.
Take a moment.
Crazy.
This is a really, really good game of StarCraft 2. Okay, he's got a long distance mine. Artosis, we're finish each other's sentences.
Well, there's only one thing to say on each screen. Okay, the shade. Okay. Oh, okay. I like this idea.
Old school strat.
Get some kills here. Oh, look how many Lings are at the bottom of the ramp. He's got a force field.
There's 3 sentries.
Okay, he has
one more
force field. So he's going to
He
kill
can
this
the
hatch.
the hatchery, excuse me.
Oh, more and more force fields now.
What?
I actually really want to
MIC.
see him focus on killing this hatch.
Yeah, no, he needs to get
Kill the
hatch.
pool, too. Kill everything that's up here. Let your opponent have as many Lings as he wants on the low ground. It's all you,
Hatch
my
goes
dude.
down. That's actually not enough. Oh, he's got some other Lings over there in the main.
I like that. To let a certain amount of them up. Because he's whittling it down now.
I think it was very intentional.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Trapping you.
Whoa, that's how many are in there?
That was a lot.
I think Stats wins.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't
forget, he doesn't have a natural, and he's actually under attack over there by something.
Okay, so he can't mine there. So he has exactly 6. Well, he had 600 minerals. Now he's warping it a little bit more. he still has enough minerals that he can actually make a Nexus, important to note. What a game.
Yeah, coming down the ramp now, though.
I think this is going to be fatal damage here.
I think Rogue committed too heavily on the ramp. He got whittled down a lot.
Great play here by Stats. Really one of the best games we've had all year, honestly. What a special game. What a really special game. Stats.
What a hold. What a hold. Great defense there from Stats. Every piece of it was so important.
Yeah.
Throwing the Robo down and throwing the Forge down at the same time. Without that cannon, he dies too.
Yeah, there was a lot. That's a game you can go back and watch 3 or 4 times and notice something new each.
Dude, the Warp Gate finishing, the Stalker getting out, all these things were really, really important.
The decision to not make the Nexus, which I think a lot of players would have panicked and just thrown that down, and Stats realizing, really, Rogue is so close to being killed, it would actually allow him to bounce back into the game had he actually expanded.
Totes.
Eternal Empire. The last match after this, one of these 2 players actually advances into the round of 8, leaving only 1 slot remaining. This is the last day in the round of 16. We're here in Group D. It looks like either player can take it. We have not had any standard play here from Rogue really so far. He's had a very different approach. Let's see what happens as we go to our final match with these 2 players.
경기가 준비되었다. 한번 시작해볼까? 아프리카 프렉스 스태츠 김대영. 진에어 그래밍스 로그 이병렬.
You can really feel that both these players just want out. You know, just get me through this.
Well, it's a tough group. Whoever comes up.
I mean, with Kira and Zest and the losers too, it's like, it's not easy at all.
No. Everyone's super dangerous in the group.
Yeah, I mean, just anybody can win here too. I mean, you can see it clearly. They're both really a great match for each other. I do still think that if Rogue goes for a longer game, I think Stats, as good as he is, as much as he is kind of the master of late game PvZ, he's still weaker than Rogue is.
Well, we haven't seen true late game PvZ go into Protoss' favor in similar skilled matchups in a long time. Yeah. It's been a long time.
It's been a while, man.
Like, there has to be some sort of outstanding damage done early on for Protoss to... Even then, they just will finish off the Zerg beforehand. So yeah, those longer games, we haven't seen them. I'm ready to see them. We've seen some... Like, Trap has brought games longer into bigger macro games than most of what we've seen. I think Estrella put up a great try against Dark into a Supreme late game that almost worked out. Yeah, I mean, that's what I want to see. That's when it's like, okay, health is returning to the matchup. And I think it is a little bit. It is a little bit now, right? We have seen more than only Glaives, which was months.
Yeah, there was a period where it was just...
Every game was
electric
Glaives.
slide with Glaives.
Yeah.
Every game.
Ugh.
Ugh. I am excited to see Rogue pull strats out like that. I wonder what exactly Rogue did wrong. I think he almost played it perfectly until he let the drop in the main. I know, StarCraft's been out for a long time now, and I know there's different people picking it up at different times, some people coming back. Just like we had DRG, he did his military service and came back. But for those of you that weren't here for the early days of StarCraft 2, maybe you're younger than really when you could have had time to play Wings of Liberty when it came out. But that was actually a technique that Protosses were using to win games in the old days.
The
stasis on the ramp. Yeah, stasis on the, or I'm sorry, not stasis, force field on the ramp.
Yeah, stasis on the ramp is even older way to win.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's from Brood War, but that's actually where the idea even came from.
Yeah. All right, it is a very old thing and very strong. And
it was good until people basically went, okay, I see what you're doing here, and I'm not going to let this happen.
Yeah, and the Ravager helped fix it a little bit as well.
Right.
You have to have just so many sentries to stop Ravager-based armies from coming up. Yeah, and that weird situation ended up working perfectly. Looks like pretty good at depths. I think you're reasonably happy. 6 lane kills, 2 drone kills.
Here comes the glaives. To be expected, but again, we also, at least in trends in GSL, generally see this not work as much.
Yeah, it's
still in the meta, but it seems to be, it just doesn't seem to win as many games as it used to. Unlike the early days, again, of Wings, where the adepts it was almost hilarious. I mean,
well, the adepts...
different stats on the units as well, then. We've had the game patched several times over.
Adepts versus Zerg haven't really changed too much. It's really against Terran where they nerfed the damage in such a way it didn't two-shot Marines or SCVs anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas that's remained against Zerg, so... That was hilarious, though, when... I remember a game where you were just laughing. Because the guy just made adepts and shaded them and just killed everything.
I remember this exact moment. I think it was Maro was playing, and I had been casting adepts. This was over at Spo TV. I had casted adepts, winning every game, and I got so excited when I saw the moment that the Terran's going to hold it. It's going to work. And I was hyping it up. I'm like, he's done it. And then as I finished saying that, this wave of like 30 adepts shaded onto the camera and just stopped and killed everything. And I just
go right on top.
I just started laughing because it just looked like it was out of a comedy sketch, like sketch comedy or something.
He actually finishes his shade. The Lings were there, but maybe not enough. He's trading with them, but it seems like Rogue has enough rallying in that he's starting to punish these adepts. Only 4 shade out. Getting some drones.
No. It's like I cast a spell to make him not do it. Well, you know, this is some damage.
Yeah, gonna
These
continue to
adepts
work
have
him
regrouped. The weaker adepts are in a good spot. They're not likely to be taking that much damage as they try to push through here. Targeting down on the first queen. Great job. Can he get the second one before the shade finishes? No.
Cancels that down.
Yep. He's going to probably warp in again over behind the rocks onto the high ground over here. This is a good foothold to launch further attacks.
Can't really go in there to stop him from warping in, so backs up at the minimum distance. Moves in once again, pushing back these queens while shading. Oh, a very tough situation here for Rogue. Zest has done a great job with this so far.
This is really incredible play. Now, he's not going to commit there, but what he's doing is he's forcing his Zerg to go back and defend, and the Hatchery's going to get lower and lower here. Now, the Ravager Biles are actually going to do a lot of damage since the Lings can surround the surface area in which the Adepts would usually escape to. And I feel like what looked like it was an exciting and close rush that maybe Protoss could win, we've just suddenly seen smashed and halted.
Yeah, it has been halted now. But let's look at the worker count as well. Lower than 40 drones for a long time here for Rogue. He did take damage. And when you look at this follow-up, this is, I think, the perfect follow-up for this situation. Bunch of sentries, immortals, and a bunch more gates. This follow-up push, I can absolutely see this doing something here, right?
It's definitely something I can get behind. But let's see. Let's see. One thing about Rogue that makes him so scary is he really knows how to engage these really hard to deal with Protoss armies. He knows how to limit their control. He knows how to push the Warp Prism into a spot where it can't be utilized in the same way. Good job there by Stats.
Yeah,
looking like a young Zest.
Taking a tiny bit of damage there to kill 4 more drones. Rogue's economy is just not looking super hot. More gates finishing up. Looks like Stats has go time.
Yeah, the second Immortal is now merging up with this army. There's enough sentries that you can cut up the engagements to favor your Protoss army.
And you can tell he's panicking right now. He's throwing down a couple spines.
Right.
He knows that this is going to be deadly.
Counterattack with these Lings trying to draw back the army. Stats is not going to take the bait here. The push proceeds onward.
This is a scary push.
Yeah, it really is. And there's a pretty tight corridor here to push through, so you can actually really use force fields to your advantage.
Oh my god, great force field to start off with there. Gets one queen, gets the spore, gets the spine. Another queen goes down. Oh my god, another good force field here. Gonna pick off that first Ravager.
Yeah, another force field here hitting some of these sentries, but you can see the Protoss army just appears to be too big.
Yeah.
Especially with 3 Immortals not even taking hull damage as of yet. And by losing the third base here, you're also losing a third of your production. GG. Stats gets out of this group first.
Really nicely done. Stats showing a ton of power here today. I'm very pleasantly surprised that he won this group because, you know, he's not been doing as well as he did for a bit. He was the top pro in the world for a long time. And tonight he looked like that again, finally.
Really great series here. And by the way, guys, really important fact overall. Only DRG is the Zerg that is in the round of 8.
Yeah.
Zerg players, start writing your complaints for Reddit now.
Yeah.
Okay, because Rogue might not get get eliminated, in which case we only have 1 Zerg in the round of 8.
I mean, both the players left have potential to kill him.
We have an interview now with our second to last player to move on to the round of 8. Go ahead, Amy.
5시즌 만에 8강 복귀에
And the first player to move out of Group D, the group of death, is
만나볼게요.
Zest of Africa Freaks.
축하드립니다.
Congratulations. Thank you.
2018년 시즌 3 이후 5시즌 만에
And after
8강입니다. 정말
2018 season 3,
오랜만인데요. 소감
this is the
어떠세요?
round of 8 in 5 seasons. How do you feel?
오랜만에 올라간 만큼
Well, I
되게
mean,
기쁘고
this round of 8, you know, it's been such a long time
네,
since the last advanced.
진짜 이번에는 진짜 8강 올라가고 싶어가지고 진짜 열심히
So this time, you know, I really wanted to move out to round of 8. So I'm really happy that the results
조지명식
was
때
good.
본래 A조였는데
In the group nomination, you were actually allocated in Group
오늘
A, but
경기를
TY
하시게
swapped you
됐습니다.
with DRG in
그
the end,
당시에는 좀
and then you had to
어떤
move to
생각을
Group D.
하셨어요?
So what went through your mind back then?
솔직히 좀 A조에 남으면은
Well, at the time,
솔직히 좀 쉽게
if I remained in Group
올라갈 것
A,
같았는데
I felt like I would
그래도
advance
뭔가
easily.
좀 저는 좀 게이머 생활 남은 시간도
But then,
얼마
you know,
안
for the
남았고
remainder of my
그래가지고
gaming career,
좀 우승을 정말 하고 싶었어요.
I really wanted to
그래가지고
hold the
진짜 좀
GSL
어려운
championship
조에
trophy.
들어가서 이렇게 좀 매 경기마다 좀 시련들을 극복해 나가면서
So, you know, I wanted to break through my limits
우승이라는
every
그런
time
스토리를
and try to build up a
내려가고
narrative.
싶다 이렇게 생각을 했어가지고 네, 좀 A조에 남았으면 했으면
So,
그런
you know,
바람도 있었지만
In my mind, I
그래도,
kind of wanted to
결과적으로
stay
이렇게
in Group
올라가게
A,
돼서
but in the
좋다고
end, you know, I win today and I move out in
우승을
first place, so
다시
I'm
한 번
happy.
더 하고 싶다. 이
So
말이
you just mentioned that you wanted to hold up the
들어왔습니다.
trophy again.
그래서 그런지 승자전 정말 요즘
In the winners
폼을
match,
느낄 수 있는
you know, we could
대단한
feel that your
경기들이
form
많이
is on
나왔습니다.
point right now.
동점을 만든 2세트.
And the
와,
second
전진
game,
부하장 가총
you
러쉬를
managed
아케이드
to fend
컨트롤로 막고 이후
Rose
역공에서
proxy hatchery.
입구를 막는 역장 컨트롤.
And then
와,
your
저글링이
phenomenal
집에 들어올
force
수가
field
없었어요.
managed to get you the
이게
victory.
요즘 정말 그 우승에 대한 다시 간절함으로
So does this
체급을
show
많이
you
끌어올리신
how
것
desperate you
같았거든요.
are for the GSL
아, 네,
championship?
진짜 거의 밥 먹고
Yes, that's right. You know,
연습만
I
많이 할
eat and I
정도로
practice, and
정말
that's pretty much my
연습에 좀 많이
routine
매진을
for the day.
솔직히 좀 두 번째 세트 에버드림에서
And as for the second game, Everdream,
완전 연습 때 안 나온 그런 상황이었는데
and that game was not something that I had
어떻게 좀
encountered
그동안 좀 연습을
during the
많이
scrims.
해왔어가지고 약간 그런
but I think I was able to cope with it
좀
because
약간
I
그런
was
걸로
able to practice a
이긴
lot.
것 같아요. 네. 손이 잘 풀려져 있어서
And you know, I warmed up my
네,
hands
올해 테란전
pretty well
승률도
today.
사실 가장 낮은 편이었는데 테란전도 오늘 2대0
But even in the
승리를
PVT,
거뒀었어요.
your PVT win rate is
따로
not that
준비하신 게
high,
있을까요?
but you did manage to win the game. So
따로
How did the
준비했던
preparation go?
거라면은 그냥 이터널에서 전진 우주관문 하는 플레이를 따로
I mean,
준비했었고
in the Eternal
근데
Empire, you know, I managed to go for the proxy
도우기가 되게
Stargate,
입구
that is
막으면서
something I had prepared for.
심리전에 걸면서 이렇게 플레이를 하더라고요.
and you know, Cure was trying to get me into the mind games,
솔직히 좀
the games.
일단 수비부터 잘 해야겠다는 이런
And then,
생각으로
you know, my
경기를 했었어요.
priority was to focus on
자,
defense.
이렇게 오늘 1위로 8강 진출.
And now you locked in the first place spot of Group of Death.
김대엽, 어윤수, 요 나이대 선수들이 요즘
You know,
시간 이야기
the
많이
players
하시고요.
back
이제
then,
얼마
like
남지
Zest,
않은 선수
Sue,
생활
and
이야기를
you know,
많이
you don't have
해주세요.
that
그런
much of a gaming
의미에서
career time
우승에
left.
대한 간절함도 오늘 이야기를 해주신 것
So as you
같은데
mentioned before,
요즘
you are very
하루하루
desperate
좀 많이 느낌이
to hold up
오시나
the
봐요.
GSL championship before you retire. So how do you spend your day these days?
아무래도 좀 윤수가 이제 가잖아요.
You know, Sue's going to the military, you
그런
know.
걸좀 보니까
So seeing him going to the
나도
military,
제가 좀 8강에 올라간 지가 엄청 오래됐더라고요.
and as you know, it's been a while since I
이번
left.
시즌에는
went to round of
진짜
8.
열심히 해가지고
So this season, I'm going to try my
8강도
utmost best
당연히 올라가고 제가 좀 국내
and try to
리그에서
move out to the round of 8.
이 GSL에서 제가 꼭 팬분들한테
And
응원해주시는
GSL,
팬분들한테 좋은 모습 보여드려야겠다.
you know, I wanna try to
약간
show
이런
the
생각을
best
가지고
performance to my
정말 열심히
fans.
준비를 했는데
And that's why I try so hard.
일단 올라가게 돼서 다행이고 이제 8강
But as mentioned before, I'm really happy to have
네,
advanced.
말씀하신
I think I'm gonna
8강전
have to
그 다섯
prepare
시즌
harder.
만에 올라가게 된 8강전은 푸푸전 지네어 그린윙스
And in the
조성호
round of 8,
선수와의
you will be playing
푸푸전이
against
됐습니다.
Trap of
자,
Group
조성호
C.
선수와의 경기
It's a
어떻게
PvP
예상을
matchup.
하세요?
How do you expect that matchup to go?
사실 좀 성호를 제가 굉장히 인정하는 프로토스예요.
I mean, Trap is a player that I hold in high regard.
900 이렇게 찍을 정도로
I mean, he's really good at the ladder and
어마어마하게
stuff.
잘하는데 사실 좀 만나기 싫은 선수예요.
So he's a player that I want to avoid as
만나게
as much as
됐고,
possible.
또 열심히 준비를 해가지고
So I'm gonna prepare really hard
이겨보도록 해야
and try to
될
beat
것
him.
같아요.
네. 자, 그럼 마지막으로 오랜만에 또 8강 갔으니까요.
Then before you go,
마지막
Stats,
한마디
anything you want to
들어보겠습니다.
say to your fans?
그동안 좀 너무 일찍 떨어져가지고
You know,
팬분들
until
앞에서
now, you know, I was
죄송했어요.
eliminated quite quickly, so I'm really sorry to my fans.
그래가지고 진짜 이번 시즌에는 좀 달라진 모습
So this season, I want to show a different side of mine,
이렇게 올라가게 돼서 너무
and I'm really happy to have moved out.
8강이 끝이 아니에요. 계속
And I know that the round of 8
올라가는
is not going to be the
모습을
end of me.
네,
So I'm
다시
gonna try
한번
to
1위
aim
진출
higher.
축하드립니다.
Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
네, 이렇게
Congratulations again to Stats. Really excited to see him get out.
계속해서 GSL 이벤트
Tell you, man, it's going to be pretty crazy if only DRG, if Zerg, I'm sorry, I should say if DRG is the only Zerg player
That
in the
would
round
be
of 8.
wild.
Of all the Zerg
And then
players
he
we've
wins
had.
GSL.
Fruit dealer all over again. Yeah, really good play by Stats. I'm really excited to see him finally doing better than he's done in the past. I guess we'll have to see how he does in the round of 8, but he's also very good at planning, putting in the prep, and having the right stuff. I think he flourishes maybe more in a best of 5 or a best of 7 than some of the other players.
Okay.
The group stage really is a different beast, but he did really well. Rogue also electing to do some very aggressive play in this group so far. We'll see if he keeps that up. Anyways, guys, we got a quick break. When we come back, our elimination match. Don't go away.